Cancer, 16 rounds of chemotherapy, multiple surgeries, feeling alone, feeling isolated. Those are the things that I felt while I was going through cancer. Those are the things that someone is feeling today. One Tough Cookie is here to help.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Money Multiplier with Kim.
Kim.
Yeah.
You got to give them what the show is going to be about.
Oh, I thought we were going to do welcome, do my introduction, and then go into what we're going to talk about.
This is the teaser. You're doing a little bit of a teaser before we go into the intro. So my name is Kim.
Right.
And then you go, that's when the program starts, right? The program is going to start right after your intro. And that's
all right. So I'm going to say hello, everyone, and welcome to Money Multiplier with Kim. Today, we're going to show you how to make your money work harder so you don't have to. And then you're going to play the intro, and then I'm going to introduce the guests.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh, correct. Perfect. All right. We're going to do that again.
Right.
Okay. Here we go.
Cancer, 16 rounds of chemotherapy, multiple surgeries, feeling alone, feeling isolated. Those are the things that I felt while I was going through cancer. Those are the things that someone is feeling today. One Tough Cookie is here to help.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kim DiGiacamo, and I want to welcome you to Money Multiplier with Kim. Today, we're going to show you how to make your money work harder so you don't have to. Hello, everyone. Today, I want to introduce a couple of guests that we have for our show today. Our first guest is Tara Metler. Hi, Tara. How are you?
Doing good. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Coming on. We also have Heidi Drummond as well. Hi, Heidi. How are you?
Hi, Kim. Good to see you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you guys for coming on. So Heidi and Tara are alternative wealth strategists. So like I said, our topic today is going to show you how to make your money work harder so you don't have to. So our first category today is, can you guys tell me what collateralized contractual wealth is?
Sure, absolutely. So It is a way that one can grow their money, a type of vehicle that has layers of protection in it. And just like the title of it says, it's contractual collateralized wealth. So it's backed by a contract, it's backed by collateral, oftentimes has other layers of protection in it, but it's a way that we can diversify ourselves further and really get some great predictable growth in our money.
That's great. I love that. Especially in these times that we're dealing with right now. It's very difficult to grow that money. And we all seem to be working harder. We're just not getting anywhere with it. So
Exactly.
I love the idea that there's some other opportunities out there that can help people, work less and make some more money. Heidi, how about what are your thoughts on that?
The difference between contractual collateralized wealth versus speculative wealth is what a lot of people don't understand. Like Tara said, the collateralized wealth, you have a set day and time and interest rate that you're going to make, and you've got a contract that states that. Whereas with speculative wealth, whether you put it's in your 401k or whether it's in any other kind of vehicle that is tied to the stock market, you're basically just crossing your fingers and hoping that the market doesn't tank like it did recently.
Yeah, I mean, I call it the stock market roller coaster, right? So you're on this roller coaster that's kind of going up and down, and you hope you don't fall off the end, right? So that's what everybody's been dealing with this past year. And I know that so many people have probably lost about 20% of their portfolio over this past year. I mean, on average, when I talk to my clients, they don't even want to look at their statements.
Absolutely.
They don't, right? I mean, they don't even want to see how much they lost. That's the sad part about it. And they just figure, you know what? I just let it go. It'll come back eventually. And you're always on this hamster wheel of going up and down and up and down and around in a circle. And it almost feels like you're not getting anywhere.
When I was younger, I used to think that. I was like, I don't want to look. I don't want to know. I've got a long ways to go. Mm-hmm. But, I would just keep my head in the sand and my fingers crossed that things would work out. But now that I'm approaching retirement, I really wanted to take control of my own stuff. And I was so grateful to have learned about these collateralized contractual wealth programs.
And that's the whole thing. It's like there's a time and a place for every vehicle that's out there, right? But when it comes to where we are in our financial journey, that can make a big difference as to what we're interested in, what we need at that time. And that's where collateralized contractual wealth really comes into play. Because no matter where we are in our financial journey, whether we're at the beginning and we're really wanting to grow it, or whether we're approaching a change in our finances or where we're at in life, it's something that can give us predictability, which is something that's very, very hard to find in the traditional marketplace. Just to Heidi's point too, that was the same journey that I had gone as well. When I first started in the workforce, right? And you start learning about retirement and what your money can be doing and how you save for this and that and everything. One of the things that never made sense to me was, why would I be putting my money in something that I could lose it in, or that I didn't know how much I was going to grow? That just never made sense to me as a youth. And so for a long time, I didn't do anything in that vein because it seemed very counterproductive to me. Well, after a while, you start getting some age on you and you're like, well, I better do something because I don't have any other option. Mm-hmm. And so same thing. Every time I would get my statement, I would be like, how much did I lose this time? Did I recover from my last loss and things like that? And so it was really a wonderful blessing and privilege to be able to learn about contractual wealth opportunities and how they can really help maintain control and efficiency over your financial strategy.
Oh, I agree 100%. I mean, I look when I was younger, of course, get life insurance, get this, get that, do 401k. It was all the traditional vehicles that we're all used to. That's what everybody does, right? That's what you were taught. That's what you do. But as we know, times have changed, right? Mm-hmm. there's a lot more out there. There's a lot more opportunities, and people need to be aware of it. That's why, I wanted to have you guys on today, was kind of talk about, different strategies out there that, what are the opportunities? How does this all work? But like I said, when you talk about people losing money in 401k, I mean, think about 2008 when the market crashed and people lost, I would say, probably half of their portfolio, and it took them 8 years, right?
Oh yeah, some even longer. Yeah.
To get back to only where they started, not even making money.
Right.
So think about that. If that happened to you when you were 65 years old and now you just lost half of your retirement income.
Exactly. Right? That was one of my first client stories, actually, was that they, had done everything the right way. And in 2008 had lost so much money that it took them 12 years to recover, which put them at their retirement. So now they were drawing from their retirement funds in order to supplement their Social Security. They weren't able to contribute any longer. And that meant they were every month continuously depleting how much they had making them money. And when that person came to me, they were anxious because they said, if the market continues the way that it is, I have 6, maybe 7 years left of my money. Well, that was not sufficient enough for him and his family. And so it was a blessing to him to be able to find contractual wealth vehicles that were able to plug that leak, provide a return that was able to supplement his income instead of it coming from his principal. So we were able to protect that principal and create an income generating machine for him. And that, to see that anxiety come off of a person and to have that weight lifted is just priceless, and a wonderful thing to be able to provide for people.
That's awesome. I know those stresses, like you said, we're at that age now where, retirement is looming, right? And, you want to say to yourself, do I have enough money? Am I going to be able to stop working? Am I going to be able to have enough money to live the life I want to do, or travel, or whatever? So I love the fact that we have these opportunities available, and, we're going to talk about that in a little more depth shortly, but maybe you guys, let's talk a little bit about the difference between contractual wealth and speculative wealth. How about we start there?
Sure, absolutely. So when it comes to things that are speculative, really essentially we're talking about unpredictability and potentially higher risk. And so that's the beauty of having something that's contractualized, because not only do you have all these different layers of protection, like Heidi said before, instead of crossing our fingers and hoping that our money is going to do something, we actually have a contract that is there to back our money. And then because there's a collateral package, a portfolio that goes behind that as well, we have that second layer of protection. And then depending on the different types of vehicles that are out there, there might even be additional layers of protection. So we've got a lot more backing our money. And really just the value of that contract is something to be talked about, that alone, right? And that was something that really stood out to me as to the difference between contractual wealth as opposed to speculative wealth, because really it comes down to what we've been conditioned and what we've been taught about money. And I found it so interesting that contracts are used in almost every part of our life, right?
Mm-hmm.
We do that when we go to buy a home or to buy a car or to lease. We do that when we start a job, or if we're an owner of a company, when we hire people. So contracts really govern our lives. And the reason why we like them so much is because of the protection that it provides for us. So we know who the parties are that are involved. We know the length of time of that relationship. We know what the expectations are. And we also know what the recourse is if those expectations aren't upheld. And yet for some reason, that is something that is oftentimes missing when it comes to the subject of our money. And so that's one of the things that I find so reassuring and wonderful about contractual wealth opportunities is it lays out the structure. You can see who the parties are that are involved, the length of time, the amount that the fixed predictable return that you will receive in that kind of a vehicle. And it makes it so much easier then to plan for ourselves financially because we have those predictable fixed numbers.
Yeah, that I agree 100%. I love the fact that there's a contract in place. I mean, like you said, we all live by contracts, no matter what we do. You're signing a contract to have insurance. You're signing a contract for your home. You're signing, and that just gives us peace of mind that, okay, this is what I agreed to. Everybody's on board. We're all signing the same contract. And this is what I can predict or what I can get out of this when I retire. With the 401ks and things like that, there's no prediction. You don't know. Tomorrow it could change for everybody. You don't know what that outcome is. And you're constantly stressing about that and worrying about your money. Heidi, what do you think about
there's risk in everything, and people it's just because it's so new. And a lot of times the interest rate that is higher than people would believe. So they think that there's a higher risk, but like you said, there's risk in the stock market and you don't have any guarantees. Whereas with the contractual wealth, you've got, I guess you could call it a guarantee. You know exactly when you're going to get your money and how much you're going to get. And your principal's not going to be compromised.
I love that.
So, yeah. But people, because it's new to them, they think it's a higher risk, but they're perfectly comfortable with, putting their money in their 401k and crossing their fingers.
Oh yeah. I mean, isn't that amazing? When I talk to people all the time, they're like, oh yeah, I put my money in a 401k, put 10% in. Why are you putting 10% in? Right. So you kind of talk to them. And I know, you guys as financial, wealth strategists, you know that you can't put all your eggs in one basket, as they say, right? We want to spread the wealth, right? If one basket falls, you have another basket to fall on top of, just like your client, where he said he lost all his, a considerable part of his money right when he was about ready to retire and only had maybe, 6-7 years to last on that money. Right. So why not have some of those guarantees? Why not have some of that peace of mind that part of your investment is pretty safe, right? And free from that stock market roller coaster. So I know, Tara, you talked about a little bit about the layers of protection. Maybe you can kind of just reiterate that a little bit of what those layers are. I know we talked about the contracts and things like that, but I just want people to know that, what they're looking at in regard to having a little bit of a safe vehicle to be able to, create their wealth or grow their wealth.
Absolutely. Yeah. So basically, there's, depending on the vehicle, each has their own personality, I like to say, but the general structure of them tends to be very similar. And so basically, we've got a couple of layers of protection. We've got our contract. Like I said before, that is something that lays out the framework of that relationship, who you're dealing with, what kind of a return you can expect, how long that relationship's going to last, and then, of course, the recourse. Then we've got our collateralization. So these are oftentimes backed by a real estate package. And in varying degrees, all the way up to in 100% equity. So that makes it a really, really strong layer of protection. The other thing too is that with that layer of protection, you have what's the word I'm looking for? The loan to value. There you go. Lost my thought for 2 seconds there. Loan to value. So varying degrees of loan to value that are under standard market, performance or what have you. So like here as an example, when you go to a bank and you're going to take out a loan, oftentimes they will loan out anywhere from 75 to 90% loan to value, right? That's the level of risk that they're willing to take on with you as, let's say, a mortgage holder. Well, with these vehicles, they stay even below that. And really what that does is to serve as an additional layer of protection that in the event that there's market swings or any volatility within the real estate market, should they need to liquidate those assets, there's plenty of headroom there. So not only is it, does it have a large percentage, if not 100% equity backing your money, but they don't leverage that vehicle beyond anywhere from 50 to 70% loan to value. So that keeps it really well within that headroom and just provides an extra layer of protection. Then depending on, you know, the types of vehicles that are available, there can be even additional layers of protection. And those are each unique to the vehicle itself. But yeah, between the contract, the collateral, the amount of equity in that collateral package, and the peak of loan to value that vehicle will go up to, are all layers of protection that help back your money in that particular vehicle.
I love that. That's great. And you know, and I like the fact that, and we're going to talk about this in detail later on, but the fact that you have access to your money, right? That's important. You know, with 401ks, like a contract, it could be, you know, a year, 2, whatever the contract may be. You're not waiting till you're 59 and a half, right? Because, you know, your money's tied up. So, you know, we'll get into that more in detail later, but I want to thank you guys, Heidi and Tara. Thank you guys so much for coming on and, you know, giving us some more information on this collateralized contractual wealth concept. And I appreciate your time. And I want to thank everyone for getting on. And if you want to know more information about this concept, you can reach out to me at 973-919-9949. And you can check out the website at moneymultiplierpro.com. Again, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. And have a great day.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. So